land use and cropping pattern in India. India is a large country having substantial agricultural diversities. Different regions exhibit entirely different characteristics so that no one plan can be conceived for all agricultural regions of the country. The share of agriculture in national income is often taken as an indicator of economic development. Agriculture sector in India has demonstrated an admirable performance over the past 4 decades, but still there is abundant scope to improve for occupying the premier position in the global market. Land use is a synthesis of physical, chemical and biological system and processes on the one hand and human or societal processes and behavior on the other. The monitoring of such systems includes the diagnosis and prognosis of land use changes in a holistic manner at various levels. Land use change may be examined by considering conversion of forest to crop and rangeland, losses of productive land through various factors, conversion of wetlands to agriculture and urban use, and conversion of other types of land to various human uses. In this lesson, let us explore the diverse land use and their cropping patterns in India from the following topics. The contents of this topic are as follows: land use change, potential for diversification of agriculture, integration of horticulture with agriculture, agriculture and forestry, land and forest development initiatives. Land use change. Our analysis of land use for the last 40 years in the 4 states suggests that Punjab and Haryana have reached the absolute limit of expansion of area under cultivation, with almost 84% of the area being cultivated. 6 to 8% of the area in these states is under urban uses. Another 5% are under forests, mainly strip forests. And the remaining 2 to 3% is roads, canals, and other infrastructural and industrial uses. Cultivable waste as a category has virtually disappeared in these 2 states. Such intensive land use for agriculture is sustainable only with increasing and continued high doses of balanced nutrients and other inputs such as chemical fertilizers and insecticides. The proportion of area available for cultivation in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir because of topography and physiography is rather small and cannot be expanded without major private and public investments that in return will result in major ecological problems and should be avoided. The cropping pattern in the region has undergone a substantial change, with wheat and rice emerging as a major crop rotation in Punjab and half of Haryana. Its expansion in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir has been moderate. Crops that have been replaced by wheat and rice are gram, bajra, barley, millets and pulses. Area under cotton has grown in Haryana. In absence of expansion of this sugar industry, the area under sugarcane has remained static. The cropping pattern of the region has unnecessarily become energy intensive and is affecting the static balance of the underground water resources in the plains of Punjab and Haryana. The growth of infrastructure, irrigation, and other technological factors are responsible for a major shift in cropping pattern in favor of wheat and rice in the states of Punjab and Haryana. A number of policy steps must be taken to encourage farmers to switch from rice, which is water and fertilizer intensive crop in the region, to crops that demand less water. This can be achieved through price policy, research and development efforts, and establishment of agro-processing industries so as to make sustainable alternatives more attractive to the individual farmers. Without supplementary organic manure, intensive agriculture leads to depletion of soil fertility. Ludhiana district in the Green Revolution state of Punjab, which records the highest yields of many crops, now also records the highest deficiencies of plant micronutrients. Extensive use of organic manure is the only way to overcome the deficiency. In Punjab, above 5 million tons of rice straw is being burnt every year during October to December. If crop residues were ploughed back into the soil, the rate of micronutrient depletion would be substantially reduced. Since 1965, when water from Bakra Canal was brought to the farm, the rise of the water table has also been a serious phenomenon. Since 1985, the rate of rise in the water table has been above 1 meter annually. Patches of salinity have started appearing at the farm level. The situation is worse in higher rainfall areas where waterlogging follows shortly after the rains. Apart from affecting agricultural crops, a high water table causes floods even during slight rains because of the reduced moisture storage capacity of the soil. In Hisar, the bearing strength of the soil has declined to less than 50% in 50 years. Potential for diversification of land use. Diversification of agriculture to increase the area under oilseeds and pulses should have been encouraged. Sunflower is becoming a prominent crop among the oilseeds. Its water requirement is quite high. Although the sugarcane area has been substantially increased, it has not reduced pressure on groundwater. The groundwater position has been distributed by a tremendous increase in food production, especially wheat and rice, 119.2 lakh tons in 1980-81 and 192.14 lakh tons in 1992-93. The ravenous and undulating areas of Kandi tract can also be developed for horticulture, which will reduce spending on reclamation. The development of land, first for agriculture and then its conversion for horticulture, is not the appropriate method. Horticulture requires less water than an intensive cropping system. More area is brought under cotton because its returns per hectare can compete with those from paddy. Crop rotation, which is a fertilizing process, should be promoted in a holistic manner. About 7 to 8% area should be cultivated under fruit trees and marketing facilities provided. The economics of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh have large forestry and horticulture subsectors. Forest area and forestry development area in both these states is substantial. The growth of different types of forests during the last 2 decades has been uneven. The area under forests in Punjab and Haryana is less than 5% but is slowly growing. There is not much scope for growth of block forests in these states. Most of the growth has been in strip forests on the banks of canals. Despite major data problems for a temporal analysis of forest cover in the study area, we found that as per official records, 33% geographical area of Himachal Pradesh, 9.9% of Jammu and Kashmir, 5.6% of Punjab and 3.8% of Haryana were under forest cover in 1986-87. On per capita basis, the lowest forest cover is in Haryana and the highest in Himachal Pradesh. In absolute terms, total free cover is 20,880 square kilometer in Jammu and Kashmir, 12,882 square kilometer in Himachal Pradesh, 776 square kilometer in Punjab, and 644 square kilometer in Haryana. The regeneration of forests for Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir has been observed and needs to be monitored more carefully. A study of various forest types in combination with horticultural, pastoral, and other systems suggests that there is a wide variation in expected returns per year per hectare, which seem to be more attractive than those from crop husbandry provided marketing is taken care of. Establishment of agroforest processing is required on a regional basis rather than on a state basis. The problem of marketing forest products, particularly wood, in the absence of such industries within the region discourages individual producers from undertaking this activity. Agriculture has undergone drastic changes from the mid 1960s through the introduction and application of various newly developed techniques in agrosciences such as crop and water management practices. Emphasis has been given to the integrated systems approach in crop production. Integration of horticulture with agriculture. Area under horticulture in all the four states has been growing rapidly since 1970-71, with fastest growth in Himachal Pradesh. The economics of Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir have a significant horticulture subsector that is growing and emerging as a major component of the agricultural and agro-processing facilities, which are some of the important problems of this sector. Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir are considered the fruit baskets of the region because of favorable climate and topography. In Punjab and Haryana, area under horticulture is small, less than 1%, but increasing. Some illustrative measures of rates of returns from horticulture ranging from 30 to 40% is suggested. However, the experience of marketing, particularly of apple, suggests that expanding wood demand for packing of fruits is creating serious stress on the forests, especially silverfit and spruce. This has already been noted by the government of Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. Subsidized cardboard boxes are being experimented with. In view of the climate and the rugged terrain, fruit production is the only highly profitable enterprise where crop growing is not of much utility. Moreover, horticulture enhances the cohesiveness of the soil, preventing soil erosion. With increase in demand for fruits, the National Commission of Agriculture has indicated that production must increase. Therefore, farmers ought to be introduced to grow more fruit trees. Induction of farmers is possible once a complete understanding of soil economics is arrived at. The following possibilities are favorable to horticultural activities in the zone. Agroclimatic and topographic conditions favor horticulture as an excellent source of income per unit of land area. Horticulture helps in using the land more efficiently than crops and conserving the soil, which is highly susceptible to erosion in case of cultivation. Horticulture permits the maximum use of natural resources by adopting the negative propagation. The actual impact of horticulture on environment is increased by the need for packing cases. The use of wood for packing fruits has greatly increased and the burden on the forest wealth, leading to extensive deforestation. The standard boxes for packing apple can contain 9 to 18 kg. However, 1 ton of the fruit is supposed to be contained in 55 standard boxes. Apart from wood required to manufacture the boxes, 25% is further wasted on manufacture of logs and billets, 10% on sawdust, 15% on cut-off rejection. Thus, one-third of the standing volume is wasted. About 65 packing cases of standard size are obtained from 1 cubic meter of the silver fir and spruce forest. The trend indicates that annually 10.8 km square of forest is lost while 6 km square is planted. That is, about 3,000 trees are lost. While the nursery stock takes about 5 years to be raised, a tree must grow about 100 to 120 years before it can be exploited. The result is deforestation. To curb the problem and have an economically feasible and environmentally correct sizes of packing cases, use other materials for packing and use wood in other forms. The Himalaya is now under tremendous transformation that is accelerated with enormous speed. Most of the original lush green natural vegetation is presently replaced by shrubs, savannas, grass accompanied by gullies, ravines, and eroded and scraped landscape. The major use of forests presently is to meet the demand for industrial wood, which is needed in a great quantity, a large part of which is used for packing horticultural products. Native plant cover normally provides good erosion control. Hence, sustenance of natural resource base for economic growth and development is compatible with environment. Problems arise, though, when an area is deforested and converted into cropland, increasing soil erosion. The resulting soil loss reduces soil productivity and modifies the environment. Agriculture and forestry. Agriculture and forestry should be developed in an integrated way in the form of farm forestry and agroforestry, under which crop productivity and fertility of soil and environment improve. The two sectors are ecologically and economically inseparable. A study of forest and agriculture indicates major difference. However, the ecosystem approach and the crop management approach are complementary, yielding more productive agroforestry systems derived by farmers and rural people. It is desirable to grow two or more species together, a combination of species. This is the basis of silviculture systems where crops are grown with commercial species for intercropping potential on rotation basis. Perennial woody plants focus on vegetation growth, thousands of species, mixed culture, frequent multiple products and values, extensive low-cost cultivation, positive wildlife values. Annual or oriental plants focus on reproductive growth, tens or hundreds of species, monoculture, frequent, single or few production goals, intensive high-cost cultivation, negative wildlife values, positive domestic animal values. Agroforestry systems, issues and opportunities. Various traditional and modern agroforestry techniques are being used by farmers. The main systems are agri-silviculture, Tangya system, farm and grove system, tree planting among agricultural crops, silvipastoral combined tree, shrub and animal production, home garden systems, agri-silvipasture, and alley cropping, wood, green foliage or green manure for food crops. Around the settlements, a sizable rural population, particularly the small and marginal farmers and landless laborers, depends on common property resources for its sustenance and other day-to-day social amenities. Those resources generally consist of village or common lands that can be brought under suitable forest species and used to raise seedlings for plantations. Such land should be allocated to the landless population and small or marginal farmers for forestry or agroforestry. Conservation forestry is emerging as an important sustainable method for balanced production from natural areas. This takes optimum production of fuel wood and timber from the land and puts in bulk soil humus and fertility. The cultivation of wastelands, particularly salt affected soils, requires hardy crop. On the basis of experiment with salt tolerance, the fruit crops have been classified as follows: high tolerance, date palm, ber, tamarind, lasoda; medium tolerance, anola, falsa, pomegranate, caronda, fig, ananas, jamun, cherry, sapota; low tolerance, guava, mango, grape, bale; susceptible, banana, papaya, pineapple, jackfruit, temperate fruits. In wastelands, the plant species grown should have salt tolerance, a deep root system, some degree of ameliorative effect on soil properties, and relatively fast growth. Agroforestry may be evolved along with compatible livestock management both of land and water and integrated land and water development planned for various biomass production, regeneration of land resource base, and increase in employment and income. The development of non-forest areas for their sustainable use would call for regenerating or recreating an integrated, interdependent land management system. This would require people's initiatives and continuous participation of people through non-government organizations and voluntary agencies. More inputs from science and technology will be required in order to derive the maximum benefit. Land and forest development initiatives. It is essential to plan and implement rational policies to minimize the regional imbalances of agricultural production. The present growth in crop production has to be sustained considering ecological and economic factors. The existing as well as emerging frontiers must be examined to enhance agricultural growth on a sustainable basis. The understanding of agroclimatic relationship through crop weather conditions, soil fertility, water use efficiency, rainwater management, and appropriate cropping patterns based on regional resource potential must be emphasized. Moreover, agroforestry, integrated crop management, biotechnology, and use of renewable energy must be emphasized for use in environmentally harmonious agriculture. Training of farmers has to be adapted to the changing technological environment. The forest affects soil and water in many ways. Leaves and branches decreases wind strength, alter the absorption of solar radiation, and increase the surface area for evaporation. The root growth and the decomposition of plant organic matter by soil fauna and microbes modify soil texture and structure, affecting water penetration and drainage. Changes in vegetation cover can therefore have a significant influence on the hydrological cycle and climatic system. The study area consists of the states of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir. On the basis of physiography and soil resources, this zone is clearly divisible into two subzones: the plains of Punjab and Haryana and the highlands. Based on altitude, soil types, geology, and rainfall, each of these two subzones may be further subdivided. Major sources of water in the region, in addition to rainfall and river, are lakes, the ice caps of glaciers, and underground springs. Underground water is largely concentrated in the plains of Punjab and Haryana. The region covers a varied land use, from highly intensive monocultures through rotational and intercropping to grazed rangeland and near natural forests. Integrated and sustainable measures. Development of land information systems and soil mapping on scale of 1 is to 15,000 and 1 is to 50,000. Preparation of human and livestock carrying capacity based on geoecological principles. Land capability and irrigability classification. Prioritization of critical land sensitivity and regions. Understanding land use and forestry response. Integrated strategy for surface water, groundwater, and rainwater through water harvesting pond. Diversification of agriculture through agroforestry, horticulture, oilseeds, sunflower, sugarcane, fruit and vegetables around urban areas. Natural principles of agriculture through crop combination and integrated fertility management. Development of four-tier forestry systems, that is, block forest along rivers, strip forests along roads, railway and common property, stray plantation along bunds, wells and farmhouses, agroforestry on croplands. Use of people's indigenous knowledge in management strategy. Land uses have undergone significant transformation during last 35 years. Impact of growing population on the land use change is also discernible as population has experienced about 5 times increase during the study period. The study reveals that area under agricultural land and built up use has witnessed sharp decrease and increase respectively. Land use affects biodiversity by changing land cover. Environmental factors such as soil characteristics, climate, topography and vegetation determined land cover. Population density was found to be related to agricultural expansion and intensification everywhere, but only in some regions to deforestation.